Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Star Wars Out in the Dark stream. My name is the Ravnos Archon. I am the storyteller Savine. You can call me Will. Last, we left off with these characters. So much had happened, and everyone was kind of scattered to the wind. They had met a couple of interesting canonical characters like Count Dooku, Qui-Gon Jinn, Master Yoda, of course. And it has been 2 years since we've seen Eedee. 2 years since Eedee returned to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant to finish their training at the behest and request of Master Yoda himself. And in the 2 years, spending time with Dr. Shakti, with Aquila, helping to figure out things that are happening, trying to piece together the greater effect of the world at large, the galaxy at large, even. One of such things that was handled was the aid that was promised to Naboo arrived in the form of one Jedi Knight called Dooku, with his current Padawan, a young Qui-Gon Jinn. And in the greater scheme of things, as Dooku managed to help the honorable Clayton Valshigeus and put himself on the chessboard of where we will eventually see him down the line, we find Eedee rocketing towards the outer rim on a ship called the Pulsar's Ghost. It is an old and heavily modified Geetrok freighter captained by a Twi'lek woman named Aira Humes. The ship is a 2.5-story tall monstrosity with its cockpit and its hyperdrive engine on the highest tier, a communal area just below it, which separates the control tier from the living tier. And then the lowest tier is where we find the crew quarters, the main engine room, the shield and communications array, and the modest cargo compartment. On the ship is a crewman named Haar, who is a Gazaran male. We find a crewman named Jargo, who is a Lasat male. A comms officer named Guntir Marvek, is a human male. Weapon specialist named Handa Kaur, a Gomorian male. And the quartermaster, or quartermistress, if you're nasty, Junti Merrill, a Sarian female. And as we are coming into an old area of Old Republic space, this is where we find our trio of misfits. Some faces you will recognize, some faces are new. It's good to see you, Eedee, and the new people who we'll get to meet shortly. We find the Pulsar's Ghost, like I said, rocketing into the outer rim. Aira Humes has been contracted by the Jedi Academy to take who is now a Jedi Knight, honestly, Eedee himself as an ambassador of the Republic to a location deep in the outer rim that was thought to be wild space, but has recently had an old hyperspace buoy reactivated. This means that there is intelligent life out here, life capable of space travel, life intelligent enough to reignite, to fix, to reestablish a connection to the Republic by activating this old buoy. Aira Humes is a no-nonsense Twi'lek with a little bit of time that you've spent with her. Her crew is an interesting bunch of people. They're definitely lively. She's all business. She is a light blue Twi'lek with dark gray tribal tattoos that curl out from the rear of her cheeks up and down her leku, which are her tendrils. She's about average height for a species with a kind of rugged frame. It's not thin, it's not heavy. It's definitely weathered. She has honey-colored eyes and a soft peach hue to her lips, and she's always in a simple white shirt or a light shirt. Blue pants, dark blue, shades of blue pants, and matching brown leather jacket and boots. But she has shared maybe a couple bits of conversation with you, a couple sentences here and there. And she tells you, she has told you that this part of the Outer Rim frightens her, as it is technically wild space. There's no maps. So once you drop out of hyperspace where the buoy is leading you, there's going to be nothing to really guide you out of the system, as it were. So it will be kind of trailblazing. But she also has ferried Jedi before, and so she understands that sometimes you will be able to navigate for her. And you come highly recommended by 2 other Jedi Knights, one of them being Nella Randul, the other one being Dooku himself.
My sweet boy Dooku.
You think you boys?
I think he was the one primarily mastering me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So you have free reign of the ship. The communal area, like I said, is in the. It's a step up. It's kind of like a few steps up from where the living quarters are. So it's not a full rise. The roof where the communal area is about 9 feet tall. Underneath it is kind of like the smaller area of the cargo area where just small parcels can be pushed under. And then there's maybe like 5 or 6 steps that lead up from the communal area into the cockpit, which is small. It only has 2 seats. One is the captain's chair that kind of has an array in front of it, and the other one is behind it, off to the side, just off kilter, and that's where the communications, the shields, and the weapons array is. The ship is not built for combat. It only has 1 set of heavy turbo lasers or heavy laser cannons that are front mounted, and nothing else. The shields,
Chevy.
yeah, the shields are nice as far as protection is concerned, and the hull is reinforced, so it can take a pounding if it has to, but it's meant for running.
Okay.
So she's fast.
She can be. She can be pushed.
Do I have private quarters, or did they closet me?
They closeted you.
Okay. All right, I can respect that.
Weapons shouldn't matter as long as nobody gets into any issues.
Yep. But because our 2 new members of the crew have not seen Eedee before, let's do a round of introductions and let's tell everybody what we look like, what we sound like, and who we are in the grander scheme of things. Let's start with our current Jedi Knight, Eedee 5'7".
All right, so I'm Eedee 5'7", and I now sound. I wanted to jump old school, but I think we're going to stay with the newer model ED57
Thank
is
you.
a rose gold protocol droid. I am wearing my traditional Jedi Knight robes. However, it has now been adapted so that the front chest cavity has a strong impact resistant glass feature so that my crystalline form can be viewed from the front.
Have you grown in the 2 years?
Yes. I've grown from what was originally a foot to now a foot and a half tall. So I'm now 18 inches tall, and then another spike has started protruding off the side.
Ooh.
Yeah. And like overall just wider in girth.
Is it this? Oh, you're white, all right.
Hell yeah.
Is it sprouting from the same side that the other shardling was stolen from you, or do you think?
No, that nothing has changed on that specific section where that first crack happened.
Mhm.
There has been no improvement.
Okay, so you've turned it into a barren part of your body.
Yes.
Interesting.
Um, on top of that, the crystal has maintained the varying like prismatic feel that it always had.
Okay, so you're not a single
Yeah.
color, but you are a kaleidoscope of color depending on what light is
Yeah.
hitting you from what angle.
Yes.
I like that.
And that's me. And like etched into the top left of the chest is ED-57.
Nice.
Like a name tag.
Yeah. Who would like to go next out of the two new members to our crew? All
May
right.
I?
Yeah, let's hear from Haar.
Well, hello. My name is Haar from Baron. If you haven't heard of the place, you should check it out. It is pretty amazing. I have lived there since I was a child, and as you can tell by my big old flaps, I'm pretty well versed in gliding. I've come across here just to make friends, and really that's about it. The more people I can tell about my home, the better I feel better about myself. Really, I'm sort of a moving travel agent if you think about it. As long as I get the name out there, the place will grow big, my tribe will be immaculate, and I will feel great.
Okay.
And as for any defining features, I hope that my claws don't make me too intimidating. I hope that my large skin flaps don't run into any door frames. And I hope that my bulging eyes are not
Oh,
frightening to those who are not of my species, because that does happen a lot. I do run into people, and the first they go, but then
yep.
as soon as I talk to them a little bit, they sort of settle down. So hopefully,
Yeah.
no ahs today.
Ruldu is definitely going to have a field day between you and Flid.
Oh hell yeah.
And you also have a little snoot, don't you? You have a little protrusion on your face, according to the image in the book.
Well, yes, my mouth does hang down, so if I ever wanted to drink anything, I would have to tilt my head all the way back if that's a good indicator.
Yeah. Straws are a thing. You won't have to worry about that.
Well, if it would look strange if I tried to drink from the top, so straws are very optimal to what I try to do.
Excellent. And if anything, we can give you the hat, the two straws that come down to your mouth.
Oh, that would be wonderful. As long as they
He
don't
was
cover up my
number
ears.
one.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they don't cover up my ears, because I feel if that would happen, I would be terrified. To lose one's sense of hearing is to lose one's all sense of self. Also, don't go into the ocean. Don't go into the dark places. Beware of the mist, and all shall be well.
There you go. Life
Good
lessons.
on swimmingly.
Yeah. Yep. And then let's hear from Jargo.
Hello, I'm Jargo. You'll usually find me in my coveralls because I don't like to get my fur greasy. I got gray skin, green matted hair. I was born on Lasat, but I was left in Corellia by my mother to study engineering. So I did a lot of engineering work on star cruisers for the Republic. I have a sidearm. That sidearm is a DL-18. Handy. Has not let me down once.
I like it. I like it. You're Lasat.
I am a Lasat.
How has it been dealing with being mistaken for Wookiees for you?
I'm 5'4".
So
I don't get mistaken for Wookiees. I'm a lanky, personable guy. I'm good with wires and a pistol.
okay. Has Eedee put any of his time into trying to figure out what system this was? Or are you
100%.
okay?
I think the second assignment, the assignment was given, I went into my own, like my personal maps of the old age,
Hmm.
trying to figure out, like, I think, was there anything around here? Do I know anything about this area? What could have led into here if time expanded a different way?
Mhm.
That kind of stuff.
Okay. You would have found that the part of the space that this buoy's in, that this buoy has been activated in, was definitely mapped before. There were several hyperspace buoys that used to lead people to this part of the galactic slice. But several of them were destroyed during the Great Sith War. There was something that happened that led to the destruction of about 36 hyperspace buoys out in this part of the Outer Rim.
A lot of buoys.
The buoy itself is in a place where it's on the edge of mapped space. So you're going to drop out of hyperspace and fly for about a week through the spatial area in between where space ends, where the map space ends, and where the buoy's kind of spatial correlation starts. You're assuming, given the location, and if nothing has changed over the centuries, over the millennium, really, the system is probably Prarayit. And Prarayit was a small and humble corner of the galactic slice. At its center, it had a yellow star that was called Prariest. It had 5 planets. The first, the closest to the star, is Narval. It was tide-locked, one side constantly boiling in the light of its star. The other side, it was a frigid landscape of rock and gems. And there's a footnote that states in the galactic records that this could have been a place of kyber farming.
Narval.
Narval.
Okay.
The second planet is Vintur. Also for Narval, there is a note that it does have 1 moon, but there's no name attached to it. There's a footnote that some of the scholars that originally were part of the system, that were in charge of keeping the records, many of them considered the moon to be a rogue comet that would just kind of orbit for a period of about a month before disbanding. That's why there's no real name for it. The second world is Vinter. It is a fully aquatic world. There's no solid land masses, but it does denote that there are several coral formations that float freely across its surface. The planet itself is in a constant state of storming because it has two moons, twin moons, Bartik and Nomat. And they technically fight with each other because of their opposing orbits, and so that has a devastating effect on the planet itself. The third world is Shavire. It is a hotter than temperate world composed of marshlands and swamps, almost even split down the middle between landmass and water. There's a note that the atmosphere is capable of sustaining life, but there's a warning that environmental protection must be taken as the heat can be dangerous to certain species. The fourth world is where the beacon has kind of been reactivated from. Shavire also has one moon named Brist, which, interestingly enough, revolves around the north-south axis.
Jupiter.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
The fourth planet in the system is called Avost. It notes that it is a mineral-rich planet that could have sustainably handled a lot of what is necessary for a shipyard. There is a single moon called Varric that could not sustain life. Avost itself had a very thin atmosphere, but it had several places that could have sustained bases and refineries, and there are pockets of breathable air in the undermantle and in the core. The furthest planet out is a giant gas orb called Ogont. It's immense, and it has 3 moons that each share, in quotations, the rings of debris and ice. In order from the closest to Ogont from the farthest, the moons are called Navir, Castrol, and Thavus.
This is on the world of Avost, yes?
Avost is where the beacon has started to kind of broadcast again. The trip itself has taken you about a month and a half. And as you come into the system, you find that the star at the center is no longer yellow. It is now red.
Ooh.
It is big.
Bad news.
It is big, and Narval is dangerously close to being pulled into its master orbit.
Mm.
That typically doesn't end very well.
As you
Luckily.
pass Ogont, you can see the 3 moons almost in a triangular position, very obtuse triangle. The ice and rocks of the rings are just a spectacle to be seen. The bit of red light that transmits this far is bouncing softly off of some of the ice, and it creates this intense, almost bird-like effigy in the ice in between the three moons. It's beautiful. And you can only imagine what it must have looked like during the yellow phase of the sun. Right now, it looks like just this phoenix, wings out, flaring, trying to fight off the coldness of space around it. The gas giant looks to be a dark purple, mostly. There are swirls of red, light blues. There's a ring of green around the equator. And it just looks like there's constant swirls of hurricanes. It's the size of whole continents. And as quickly as they'll flare up, they vanish and are eaten up by other hurricanes. The green is rarely swirled. There's not a lot that happens around the equator, which is strange scientifically. But the blues, the reds, the purples all blend together in some of the hurricanes. And you start to see just these plumes of brown that will shoot out, kind of like tendrils almost, and then just dissipate as they get too far away from the atmosphere.
What a sight.
As you come across the fourth planet, Avost, you see something strange. There's this long pyramidal shape that's coming out of the atmosphere, almost like a space bridge, and it's attached itself to its moon. It's become a binary set of planetoids that are now spinning around a different axis than Avost's was. Things have changed. It looks like the beacon is transmitting from a point near where the moon has conjoined the planet. And after a few minutes, you'll hear what's her name? You hear Guntyr just kind of yell down from the cockpit. I'm picking up life signs on the planet.
How many?
Numbers are fluctuating. Sometimes I can
Interesting.
read 50, sometimes I read 300. But they're all under the surface, so I think maybe minerals is doing something to the sensors.
Can you open up our comms, please?
Yeah, sure. And you see him patch it through, and a little strand of a microphone pops up, and he kind of points it in your direction. There you are. You have an
Hello.
open channel.
This is Jedi Knight Eedee 57 speaking. I'm looking for any signs of intelligent life. Over.
Greetings. You have found intelligent life. How can I be of service?
I would like to meet with you if this is possible.
Were we meeting live?
There is a clearing that has been made accessible for ship landing.
Wonderful. Prior to us meeting properly, can you tell me more about yourself?
I am EMM17.
Oh,
Uh,
more droids.
I was placed here some time ago by the Jedi.
Do you hear that, Charlie? Another Jedi droid.
And you see him spin around on his y-axis. Ooh.
Are those not common?
Do you have a fun name to be called EMM17, or would you prefer your full title?
You may call me Emmett.
Wonderful, Emmett. How long has it been since the Jedi have been here?
There is an inconsistency in my report, as I was shut down for an indeterminate amount of time.
Who turned you back on, Emmett?
I did so myself. Jedi
Wonderful.
Knight Eedee 57.
Wonderful, Emmett. We will be making our way to the clearing soon.
This pleases me.
Wonderful. Are there any humanoids available, or is the planet primarily run by droids now?
There are some beneath the surface, though I have lost contact.
Ask
How
if we need
long-
biohazard suits.
How long has it been since you've contacted them?
According to my records, it has been 821 years.
See.
I'm curious. It sounds cool. I want to drop on this planet. This sounds like so much fun. I want to
Alright,
check it
years.
along.
Do you know what type of race they inhabit if they are in the archives?
I have been without archive access.
821. Anything like popping in my personal like registers on this?
821 years is a lot less than when the Great Sith War happened. Like, the Great Sith War happened about 4,000, 3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was when a big upheaval happened. If
Okay.
depending on when the buoy was shut off or destroyed, it could be anywhere from could be Masasi that are down there, could be just humans and that have become near human at this point from years of whatever's happening down there.
Can I run in and take the mic to ask Emmett a question?
Yeah, sure.
Hello,
You can
Emmett.
get to it.
Yeah. Guntyr just kind of like looks at you and very Eedee, he kind of looks up at Eedee just very quietly. There's no atmosphere on the surface.
See.
Wait.
Then this may
I'm picking up
So,
pockets of breathable air under the surface, though.
I'm cool with just sending the droid.
I have a name, my friend.
Yes, and it's Eedee. He's very interesting, and I want to poke into his crystal because the glass is very shiny, and I hope that doesn't hurt him.
All
It
right,
won't.
Eddie.
But we can't go down there because we need to breathe. But how? Wait, how do we get through the atmosphere? Do we have to throw ourselves into like a little pod shuttle to sort of go underneath so that way we can breathe in the under pockets of the atmosphere?
There are spacesuits, too, that you could put on.
That is true. Eedee, can I come along?
I Har, yes.
Yes.
You have been a very sweet companion. If you feel as though you are capable of negotiations on a political scale, I would love for nothing more.
Oh, political schmitical. I'm just good at talking to people. I've been dying to get off the ship ever since they enlisted me because I just want to explore places, you know? But trust me, I am nothing more than helpful.
You can definitely stay near Charlie. By the way,
Charlie.
Charlie, can you describe Charlie for them, Will?
Charlie is an. Imagine, if you will, if you've seen Batteries Not Included, the excuse me, the Charlie is a basic disc. He's about 3 feet wide, 3.5 feet wide. He's about a foot tall. He has these two orbs of light that are its ocular cavities, and it has a little slit of about a finger, like a thumb's width, like a human thumb width, that is its vocal producer, where it kind of makes its noises. Has no arms. It has just a little dish on the top of it. It has a retractable little scoop underneath where it can be fed samples, so it can do tests on them. But otherwise, Charlie is just a floating disc.
This is yours?
Bobs,
this is alive?
Bobs up and down, spins on a y-axis.
He has become
Charlie.
one of my closest friends.
Oh, is Charlie friendly?
He's been with us for a month, so I hope he's friendly.
Oh, he looks like a toy that I used to play with on my planet as a child, except that it seems to be sentient and flying around. I will make quick friends with it, and I'll give it whatever it asks for.
Wonderful.
Do you speak common, little disc? Charlie?
Ooh.
Oh, he understands me! Well, they understand me. It's a bot. Hello!
He is a
Miss my
very
manka
good
cat.
friend.
I can go by he. Oh, sweet little bot. Can I pet you?
It floats away from you.
Oh, well, we'll get over that soon. I like you already, Charlie. And you got your eye on me.
He did not entirely enjoy being locked into a closet with myself.
Why were you locked into a closet? Well, I guess you don't need to technically live. Do you do anything that you enjoy, Eedee?
Excuse me?
Do you have any hobbies?
Studying, learning.
Ooh, like?
For the most part. Understanding what the next step of our adventure is going to be.
Well,
You hear a
I won't
voice.
stop you in those endeavors.
The channel is still open.
I am so
Oh.
sorry.
Emmett! Well, if I may budge in, I had a question for you. See, I do not run into too many Jedi droids, and you were turned off. How did you turn on again? Did you have outside help, or was that somehow something with the Force? I'm just curious.
My programming was set to self-preservation.
Ah, that's so interesting. Thank you, Emmett. That'll be all.
Okay, Emmett.
From me.
We will meet you on the clearing. It will be myself, another temple droid, and then 2 humanoids in spacesuits.
Who?
Yes, your attitude, Jargo, has warranted. I'm requesting your assistance on this endeavor. Is that all right, Captain?
She nods. Yeah, it's
Wonderful.
fine. I think he is.
Boss lady says so.
He could be useful, being the engineer and all.
Wonderful. We will see you soon, Emmett.
Is an engineer like a droid doctor, or do you just deal with ships?
If it has wiring, I know how to work it.
I close the comms.
Okay. Because he was about to say something.
Seeing all of you definitely makes me miss Silas and Flid.
Oh, were they friends of yours?
Family.
Oh, that's sweet. Hopefully we get to meet them one day.
I hope so. You would love Silas.
That sounds like a cool name, and cool names automatically attribute them to cool people.
Well, he
Yeah.
has a cool name. It is the Gunslinger. He is the fastest gun in the West, in the west side of the system.
Incredible.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how you measure a gun's speed. They don't typically go anywhere aside from
Oh.
hands.
Simple. How fast the body falls.
But that has nothing to do with the... I will stop asking questions about him if I wish to preserve my life, don't I?
Yes.
Ah.
What I understand is this isn't your main ship.
Seeing as we were hired to fly me out here. No, not at all.
Very good.
Yeah.
Not my digs, anyway.
Wonderful. Captain, I've marked where the clearing is for you. I have a feeling that you may want to lower us down not land. I recommend staying in orbit. I have a feeling that any tremors set off may alert company that we do not want.
I understand, and I will take, of course, all the precautions necessary. I appreciate your input, Master Jedi.
Thank you.
The droid on the comms didn't sound too threatening. I don't think they'd launch an attack on us if we're trying to land.
It's not the droid I'm worried about.
Well, how would they see us anyway? They're...
Tell me more about yourself, Haar. Your thought process is so interesting. How did you end up on this ship? Captain, how did you end up hiring Haar?
He turned out to be a stowaway, honestly.
Well, I consider it hiring myself. See, everyone needs a negotiator, and someone was also bleeding that I saw. So I figured, hey, my first aid skills and my talking skills can get me into pretty much anything. So I patched them up. They said, "What are you doing here?" They were already ready to go, and I said, "Hey, welcome aboard."
Yes.
How long have you been on this ship?
They haven't landed anywhere that I can get off yet, so I just consider myself a resident until, you know what, some place is interesting enough for me to drop.
You are going to love Captain Flid.
So
Oh.
too, if they're anything like Silas, they sound cool.
Well, let's say you're just going to love him.
You have such a way with words, Eedee. You have such an affirmation for those people you care about. I'm sure they must be wonderful.
You feel a hard jerk as the ship suddenly comes into an atmosphere, and you hear, "All right, if you will make your way down into the cargo containment and put on your suits, I'll open the ramps for you."
If you
Thank
ladies
you.
are done talking,
I will alert you on comms if anything goes wrong.
All right.
And I'll be there too.
So,
you know what, Eedee? We haven't talked much on this ship, but I feel like we're going to be quick friends.
I want it to be known that I've not left the cabinet.
got it.
I walked in, stayed in there, and this is the first time I leave.
Am I outside of the cabinet, like the door of it?
No, like the whole month long, I just stayed in the cupboard you guys let me have.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that.
So, the two of you that need spacesuits, yeah.
All I know is that there was some sort of bot on this ship that we were taking someplace, and you know what? I was just so excited to meet them.
Yep.
I think we should have stuck you in the closet.
Well, how would I live in there? I'm not a robot.
Neither am I.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that appropriation on all droids?
Is it, Charlie? Yes.
Droid racism
I'm
is a
sorry.
real thing.
I'm sorry.
You know, on Naboo, droids have souls.
They do. Oh, that sounds so interesting. I'm sorry. Mostly on my planet, we deal with twigs and dirt. We don't
They are-
really deal with too many droids.
They are considered sentient species. We had a good time on Naboo, I think. Did we not, Charlie?
Ooh.
It was very interesting. The young boy was a good one.
Take back anything I said that sounded rude.
I hope Sheev is doing all right.
And as the two of you who need spacesuits put them on and you descend the ramp, the ship pulls itself back out into orbit. You see some of the antennas on top of what looks to have been a refinery of some sort just start to follow the ship up into orbit. You recognize the base structure, Eedee, as an extrasolar modular mining droid. Emmett isn't a droid like you are. Emmett is this entire building.
He's the refinery.
Oh.
Okay.
The space
Hey.
bridge is coming out of it. And given the look of the landscape, you don't see anything worth mining out here.
Planet is hollow.
Yeah. According to the readings, there's an atmosphere underneath.
Let's get closer and talk. Are we? Have we landed yet? Or the three
Yeah,
of us?
they've dropped you off.
Okay.
Are we in the breathing part yet?
Nope.
No, that is
Okay,
for
so I
the-
can't take this thing
No,
off.
don't take it off. No, you will die.
Take it off.
Stop.
I would not like to. I trust the droid.
I'm not the droid. Um,
I'm sorry.
it's
Are
fine.
you not?
We only just went over this. It's okay.
Oh, wait.
So
wait. Then what are you?
I am a shard.
Oh, you're the thing.
He's not the bot. He's the thing
sorry.
in the bot.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I did not understand that. So wait, is Charlie the same thing?
No, Charlie is a droid.
Okay, so Charlie's a droid. You are the thing inside, piloting it, controlling it, and living out as it.
Yes.
It's like you.
Ah,
Your brain
crack.
controls your body.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
yours is in your
Thank you.
chest, and I can clearly
Yeah.
see it.
Yep. Yes.
So
I'm
if your
taking
outside
pride in myself.
if your outside gets hurt, does your inside get hurt?
You know
Yeah.
these suits have a limit of oxygen.
I should stop talking.
Thank you. Yes, you might just put so much carbon dioxide inside yourself that you will suffocate.
Mm-mm.
So I'm wonderful. All right. So,
Mm-mm.
yep. Okay. Let us go see if we can find a main control room and talk to Emmett properly.
Mm.
You go up to the main doors, and there is a round object that comes out on a cylinder, almost like the same thing you saw in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
It scans the three of you, and then it pops back into the wall, and a heavy door just starts to slide to the right, opening, and you see this of dust and decay that has been there for who knows how long just kind of come out and immediately dissipate into the non-atmosphere.
Can we see inside very far?
No, it is dark. But
I
there
will
Charlie,
stay
can you
here.
turn a flashlight on for them?
yeah, there are lights on the suits.
Yeah, on the suit.
Okay.
Left shoulder
I will.
has a light.
I will stay very close to anything with illumination.
Eedee, should we have
Yeah.
weapons drawn?
Hmm.
You're the Master Jedi.
Not yet. I would suggest we go in non-hostile. We don't know when what's underground might come up.
Do we raise our hands?
Good point.
You
for,
can.
For those of you that have dealt with Jedi, you also notice that Eedee does not have a lightsaber hilt on their belt.
Wait a sec. I'll make this short. You don't have one of those glowing swords.
Don't worry about that.
I won't.
Let's head inside.
All right. You go in, and the second all three of you are inside, the door starts to slowly close.
It is okay. Stay close to Charlie. He will keep you safe.
Like my life depends on it.
Okay, all right.
And there is a little bit of an orb of illumination that comes from the center of Charlie.
Thank
Charlie,
you.
while we're in here, can you actively be making a map and diagram of the refinery?
It nods. It bobs up and down emphatically.
And
Wonderful.
I will protect you.
Wonderful. Yes, protect Charlie. That is your assignment.
Like my life depends on it.
Wonderful.
That is your assignment.
All right. Let's see. So coming on into the inside with all the lights, and I'm just gonna pop on like infrared, see if anything
Okay.
is noticeable. If not, switch over to dark.
No, there is nothing giving off heat signature
Okay, that's good.
for the foreseeable length of the hallway. You switch to starlight vision to kind of enhance the shadow and the little bit of light that's coming from behind you from these guys. And you can clearly see all the way down this 100-meter hallway. There's one door that's coming up on your right, and there is a break to either side once the hallway ends. It's like a T intersection or a Y intersection, more like.
Is there labels on the doors?
Yeah, the door says welcoming center.
Okay.
Maybe they have snacks.
Is there another sign that breaches the other direction?
No.
If there's anywhere to start, I'm hoping it is here.
We welcomed ourselves already. Let's welcome ourselves again.
I open the door.
Okay.
Oh, you're so brave. What was your name again, engineer?
Jargo.
Jargo. I will remember that.
We've been together for a month.
You touch the pad.
Yes, but you don't. You ignore me.
And
Do
the
my
door
best.
does not open. There's no power going to it.
Is there a space in between the door frame and the door to pry it?
Even or odds in your favor.
Is there anything?
Again?
Well, it's
Choose even or odds from, I'm going to roll a die, and depending on what comes up, an odd number or an even number, what would you like to be in your favor?
Let's go even.
I rolled a 1. So the door is locked and closed.
I'm gonna open
Well,
up
is there
my
any-
comms channel.
Are there any boxes around here that it's an electronic door, is it not?
It is.
Are there any visible boxes that I can use to sort of mess with the machinery and see if I can cross some wires?
There is not.
Oh, unfortunate.
What did Eedee want to do?
I'm gonna open up my comms channel.
Okay.
This is Jedi Knight ED57. Emmett, are you there? Over.
You hear the loudspeakers come on. I am here. And it booms.
Could you turn it down a bit?
Do I need my comms on, Emmett, or can you hear me without them?
I have rerouted enough power to be able to hear you.
I turn off my comms.
Are you tired, Emmett? You sound tired.
Is this a viable volume for you?
Say no.
I give out a thumbs up.
Emmett, what
Wait,
was
can you see me?
I do not have ocular abilities.
Emmett,
Mm,
what were you refining on this planet?
There is a type of titanium ore. It is plentiful underground.
I
That
see.
could be valuable.
Emmett, is there a control center where we can reroute power, or are you too low on power?
I cannot show you how to get there, but it is beneath you.
We are currently at the welcoming center. If you can guide us there step by step.
the door is closed.
The door is close to the welcoming center, but
There might be maps inside of the welcoming center. Maybe we can get him to open the door.
If that's not too straining on you, of course.
I could reroute power to the door, but I would lose connection
We will
for
save
some
you, Emmett.
time.
I think it'd be smarter if we worked with Emmett to get to a location. Because I have a feeling that Emmett, do you have access to
You hear the
the
speakers
underground?
crack. You hear the speakers crackle,
What the
and
fuck?
the door opens.
We got you, Emmett. We'll juice you up.
Let's hope there's a map inside.
I go inside.
There is a bowl of what looks to have been candy at some point that is now just a solid, disgusting thing in a domed appearance.
Can I take it?
Well,
Sure.
there's food.
There is a couple of what looked to have been couches at some point. The stuff has just broken and weathered itself. Just the shape of it really exists now. There's a countertop where the candy bowl was. There's a name placard that looks to have been worn away into nothing. It's just this kind of upside down 7 of a holder.
Is there an atmosphere on the inside of this room?
There's not.
So it's interesting that it's weathered away without an atmosphere deteriorating it.
Mm-hmm.
He has
Good
been
enough.
rerouting powers to other systems, so maybe the atmosphere was the first thing he turned off since he didn't need it.
He just turned it back on.
Barely.
Why would he need an atmosphere? He's a
It'd be in his
building.
protocol. It would be in his protocol to keep on going for any sustainable workers.
So he must be in bad shape. The sooner we can get to the control room, the better.
Let's find this map.
This place couldn't have possibly come from down to up, could it?
I'm going behind the desk.
Okay. You come behind the desk. You can see that there is a strange pile of dust that has been kind of disturbed. It looks like it was laid out in a rather humanoid shape,
Hmm?
but with the door opening, things have shifted. There is a room that has its door closed. It has the glass frosted over that says welcoming committee. Behind the counter, you can see what looks to have been an old data pad off right now, thick layer of dust on it.
Could I look at it?
Yeah, it's basically an iPad.
I'm guessing there's no way, there's no connection of power to this thing. That is it. It's individually connected.
Like
So-
there's a cord that goes down into the desk itself, and so you get like maybe 2 feet, 2.5 feet of distance before the cord goes taut.
Well, this thing must have data on it, so maybe we could. Does anyone have anything that can turn this thing on?
It's dead, or it just can't be turned on?
You don't know.
Oh, well,
Can I can I
exactly
take a
what
look
I'm
at
gonna
that?
Try.
Oh. Okay.
What y'all
Alright.
don't know about your boy Eedee is that 30. That's a 34.
Oh.
So I'm gonna give myself my force point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not just the data pad. Anything that could be useful is getting turned on.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
So you suddenly see a few things turn on. The data pad comes to life. You can see this old logo. It looks like block letters that you don't recognize the language for. It's definitely not basic. It's not the Arabesh.
Could I check with my language? Could I do a language roll?
You could. It's going to be incredibly difficult because it's a dead language. But go ahead. Make your.
Does it hurt? I guess it does hurt.
You rolled a 17 and you got a 1 on the wild die. You believe it to be this language that should have no business being used currently.
It is old.
And when he says the name of the language out loud, there's a moment where Eedee just kind of slowly turns. Like, that's impossible.
Not in this system. No.
Oh, unlucky guess. But yeah, I don't know how to
Something
read this
we
thing.
don't.
Can I
Do
just
the-
start like tapping on it and seeing if stuff happens?
Yeah, sure, of course. And
I
stuff,
take away the iPad.
stuff does start
no.
happening.
I take away the iPad.
Yeah. A fan
Come on.
and a humidifier turn on near Eedee.
Can we turn those off?
Uh,
I don't
would
know how I
rather
turned
have-
them on.
I would rather have Emmett than those on.
Well, it turned on. That means that this thing is working, so it could be useful. We just can't read it, but we should keep it around.
You seem to know something we don't, Eedee. I hand him the iPad.
Is it in Basic or Arabic?
It is
Or
not.
is it... So it's in this dead language?
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna catalog all of it with my memory.
Okay.
Does Eedee know which button turned on the fan and the humidifier?
No,
Or did I turn them on?
you turn them on. When you turn things
Okay,
on,
I'm
the
gonna pop those
lights turn on as well. And as they do, you see that there is something moving in the welcoming committee room.
Pull my blaster.
Charlie up.
Ooh!
I
And
crouch behind the desk.
just goes up and puts himself up against the roof.
Hello?
The humanoid shape opens the door, and you see an old third degree droid come out.
Emmett?
Hello.
Emmett.
Hey.
Charlie, you can come down now. It's safe.
I am EMM12.
EMM12.
And the one behind
Wait a
it,
second.
I am EMM11.
And me.
These are
Excuse
two
me.
different droids.
Do you
Excuse me,
both...
you two. Do you know where 7 is?
I believe 7's the building. Do you know what EMM01 is?
We do not sense him.
How many of you guys are there?
There were 53 of us.
We have made contact with EMM17. Is it safe to assume that they control the building itself?
This is a factual statement.
Okay.
And are you all connected power-wise?
No.
Oh.
Cool. would the two of you be able to turn off the remainder of the room other than this datapad for me, please?
That is easily enough done.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I just realized I was probably draining Emmett.
And
Yes.
What language is this pad in?
It is in the Varashti.
Does that trigger anything?
Rusty.
Make a scholar roll.
Oh yeah, I will.
I'm not one of those.
Let's see what happens.
12.
You maybe remember it. You're not sure if it was something in a lesson you learned, or you're just assuming that it's something that you've heard before, but it's just can't put your finger on it.
But it's a dead language.
Yeah. And after a moment, you see the fan turn off, you see the humidifier turn off, the lights turn off, and the two droids turn off.
Oh,
Hey man, I wanted those two on.
I wanted to ask if they could translate.
And I take the memory bank of one of the droids.
Sure.
What do I
very
have to
rude.
roll for that?
It's an easy enough roll. You can just pull
Technical?
out. Yeah, you can just pull out the rear of the head.
The
Is your-
opposing droid, I'm going to turn back on.
Okay.
Yeah.
It comes to life.
So
Which-
I
which
took
was this?
the one.
So you took one? All right, so I'm turning 12 back on.
I took one on.
Okay.
So
Well-
EM 11, lost memory bank.
12, you see it start to get slowly, almost like a theater breathing exercise. Link by link of its spine, it kind of starts to crawl back upwards into a standing position.
EMM12, do you have a name that you would like us to call you by?
I have never been asked this.
Would you like us to give you one?
If that is a thing that you would appreciate.
Do either?
Emil.
All right.
The two sort of looks like
Do you enjoy
old sound.
Emil?
I have no preference.
A wonderful Emil. Can you translate this datapad for us, please? We don't. And then, do you have records of Varashti built into you?
I do.
Wonderful. Would you have a way of transferring that over to me?
Do you have a docking port?
I should, do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, here.
That's why I took the memory bank.
Log on in.
Yeah, and you see that from the palm of his hand, a little circular opening, kind of like an iris, is out, and you see just this cone shape come out, and he jams it into your interface, and he starts to just download stuff that he has into you.
Is that contagious?
It's quicker this way.
But won't you catch anything bad?
No.
Okay. I put the memory bank back inside the droid since we don't need it.
Okay. And after a few minutes, it pulls the cone out and it retracts it into its forearm. I have given you all my files.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you lead us to the refinery bay where you would probably enter the lower sections of the world, of the planet?
I
mines,
can
preferably.
do this, yes.
Thank you, Emil.
And it does, in fact, take you all the way down to where the mining facility starts. You can see that there's this huge cavern that opens up, and there's several different sized mining droids that are all slumped over and dead from who knows how many centuries of inactivity.
Are these more of you guys?
These are not the same.
Hmm.
While we're walking, I'm going to translate that data pad.
Okay. Here in the cavern, the readings, as far as your sensors are concerned, show that there's enough of an atmosphere for sustainability.
The both of you can unzip if you like.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Oh, you already did it. You've already.
Yep. The
Your
air
eyes are still in your head.
the air is stale. It smells of
Rank.
just horrible. And there
You think it'll
is
be bad if I keep this on?
a bit of decayed flesh. It's not heavy, but there's tints of it in the air.
Your face doesn't look like this is good to breathe, so if it's not an issue, I'm going to keep my helmet on.
If the
There's
rest
death
of the
in the
suit
air.
isn't on, the helmet means nothing. And I would
Oh.
presume you would want your ability to glide in case you needed it.
That would be very useful, but I guess I'll just be able to quick change into it. Okay, I'll take it off.
Yes. Wonderful.
I trust you. And of course, Charlie.
Ooh.
It's not too dark in here.
Not with him illuminating, though.
Yes, he makes everything so much easier. How much further does this cave go, and why does it smell like something's dead?
That might be the workers.
I thought the workers were droids.
That's comforting.
Do you know what killed the workers?
You see it look out in a direction. Its eyes blink on, off, on, off, on, off, as you can see that it's trying to figure out something. And then it turns to look at you. The data banks are blank after a certain point.
Oh, so it's old.
The 821-year gap, I presume?
If you say so.
I do. It seems as though our endeavor... I turn my comm on.
Yeah.
Emmett, are you
Emmett?
there?
Static.
Emmett.
Emil, can you do me a favor?
If it is within my power.
I would like you to go into the refinery and turn everything off except for yourself, because I would like to communicate with EMM17.
Will this stop our breathing, or is this atmosphere?
Your breathing should be fine.
This is
Okay.
natural atmosphere. If not, we wouldn't be smelling the dead.
Good point, good point. I just do not enjoy dying.
He nods and he starts to make his way back to the elevator.
Thank you.
Oh, we're
We have a
just sitting
choice.
around.
We can
Yes?
sit and wait for Emmett to come online. But if Emmett can reach us in the ship, I presume he can reach us further down in the cavern. So my offer is, would you care to continue this adventure down?
Well, if we're waiting for everything to turn off just to hear from Emmett, would you want to wait for Emmett, or do you want to just keep going?
We're just stopped on the elevator in the middle of this.
No, you're on a cavern floor. The highest, the topmost layer of where the mining was taking place.
But did they say there were more living readings underneath the surface? So maybe if we go down, we can meet something alive that doesn't smell dead.
That is my proposal.
Or whatever made these guys dead.
Exactly. I
And
don't
how long
know.
until we can see light again?
Probably until we get off the ship.
Ah, I don't like this.
Sooner we start, the sooner we can get off of this dust ball.
Then I suggest we begin.
Let's walk.
Start making
I'll
your
be
way
in
downtown.
the middle.
Walking fast, faces past, and you're homebound.
Of course.
There's faces here?
Yep.
Oh no, they're just faces in the shadows. I'm
all over
I'm
the
just getting a
place.
bit paranoid.
And you come across this open area down maybe about another 30 meters from where the elevator left you off, and you can start to hear the droplets of water.
Water's usually a good sign.
Something's wet.
Unless it's too deep.
I put my hand under one of the streams of droplets and I lick my hand.
Ew.
There is an iron taste to it.
You sure that's water?
It's gross.
We're in a titanium mining spot, so yeah, I'd assume it tastes a little metally.
I'd like to
Really?
do a ping out with the force.
Okay.
I don't know which one that would be, but I want to
Wait.
ideally I'm looking for life.
Okay. So life detection.
Okay.
That would be sense.
God. 14.
14. You reach out with the force in any direction.
He put his hand out. What's that?
And as far as you're concerned, for 100 meters in any direction from you, there is no life.
What's around us right now? Just cave walls?
The floor is moist. It looks like if you go further down, you start to encounter whatever liquid this is.
Why are we here again?
To see what turned on the buoy. It is either Emmett or it is whatever life exists under the surface.
Speaking of Emmett, have you heard anything?
Oh, Emmett, are you there?
You hear a bit of crackling, and then I am here.
Emmett, are you the one who activated the hyperspace buoy?
Yes.
Why?
So that I may leave this wretched prison of a planet.
Why do you want to
Why?
leave?
I have accomplished my mission,
Of?
surviving at all costs.
Emmett, where are you located in the actual refinery itself?
40% of me is left in the control room. I am
How far away
almost-
are we from that?
With no real map, you can only assume that you're at least like an hour away. But you hear him. I have been downloading myself into your ship's computer.
Wait,
No.
hold on.
We need to get back to the ship.
Hold on, wait, what? Pause.
We need to get back to the
I
ship.
start fucking booking back to the ship. No.
Emmett, what is stopping you
Same.
from driving normally?
I run. I grab Haar and I run with him
Go!
in my hand.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
You
late, but this is ridiculous. Come on. I can run.
you get to the elevator, and as you approach it, you see all of the power shut down to it. I cannot have you interfering.
Turn off my comm.
Okay.
Emmett, you said we were friends.
I'm gonna. Is there a ladder system?
Yeah.
I'm climbing.
Okay.
Haar can fly.
How
He
can
can- yep, yeah.
glide? He
He can
cannot
glide.
fly.
Put your suits back on. We're getting out of here.
Can I fly with my suit on?
No.
Charlie, you're gonna take up the rear, okay?
Ooh.
I start climbing.
Okay.
I follow.
I'll climb as fast as I can.
Yeah. And Charlie just kind of sits behind you at the bottom of this ladder chain. You get back up to the main floor, and
Oh, that was tiring.
yeah, you see that things are just turning off around you. Doors are being closed to stop you.
The main door shut behind us. Do you think we could get out through there?
I ask. I have Charlie turn the map that he's been making back on.
It creates this holographic image beneath it. Just
Where are
on-
we in relation to the exit to the ship?
You are from the main entrance. If everything was open and you went back the same way you came in, you are maybe 20 minutes from the door.
Okay.
Eedee,
I'm
do you
gonna.
have something from one of those other meals?
That's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and turn the system more in my favor
Ooh.
and pop open each door in front of us while we walk.
Okay, are you using your shard ability?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you come across the
kept that
first
memory bank.
door. Let's see what you get.
I got a 32 with the little green box.
Okay, so you exploded into a 32. Let's see what I can get into. This doesn't look like a 32. No. 29.
That's real close.
You open the first set of doors that are blocking you.
How many
All
doors
right,
total?
Charlie. How many more doors are there?
Ooh. And he highlights the 3 doors between you and the exit.
Are there supplementary doors that are open?
They're not mapped, so you don't know.
Because Emmett doesn't know where we are.
He can't see us.
Emmett can't see us, but he does know that
He can hear us.
he does know that we just opened this back door.
Yep.
So
Have we tried contacting the captain yet?
do you have personal comms that can get you to the captain? Because I fear that the whole system is shot.
Do I have personal comms?
You do. They don't have the range to reach out into the upper atmosphere.
He said he was at 40%.
Yeah.
How long have we been on this planet?
40% left.
So he's done 60%.
Yeah.
And we've been on this
Oh,
planet for
but
how
this-
long?
You've been on the planet for maybe 3 hours.
It does give us time relative. Can we dig
Enough.
through the ground?
Oh! Ha!
Yeah.
You're a genius.
Well,
I turned my lightsaber on.
Okay.
oh, you
I'm
do
just-
have one.
I'm just gonna cut through the door.
His hand?
No. Like RoboCop, the thigh opens up and a little cradle pops out, and he pulls
Ah,
the lightsaber free.
let's bust out of this joint.
What is the
That is
lightsaber
pretty
color?
cool.
Blue?
It's no,
Or
I'm
green?
green.
You're
I'm green.
Green blade?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a green hue to the hallway now as the lightsaber ignites. You hear that familiar click.
I'm getting the both of you home, I promise.
Let's go.
Much appreciated.
Are you activating lightsaber combat at all, or
If is that gonna get me through the doors faster, then yes.
it will, because you get to add your control
Oh, then yeah.
to the damage you're doing.
Then yes.
Otherwise, 5 die damage against the blast door is slow.
So control and sense.
Are you going to try to activate it all at the same time, or are you going to try to slowly activate it one per turn?
I did them both at the same time.
I need to get me
Oh,
one of
remember
those.
that's multiple actions. So you're
Oh well, then I just did control first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you take out the lightsaber, you ignite it, you jam it into the door that's in front of you, and slowly you start to call on the Force to help you. Being this close to a Jedi, Haar, you can feel him pulling on the Force. It's almost like if somebody had jumped into the pool next to you and cannonballed. Like the waves,
Here's heavy.
the
Oh.
crash against you as he's pulling on the Force just kind of washes over you.
Oh, what is this? What are you doing?
Then he does
Talking.
it again.
That sense?
That is sense.
We're on the,
Want me to
we're
roll
on
it
the
again?
second door.
No, you're fine.
Oh my!
You're fine.
Okay.
What is going on? I feel like I can. Oh,
Yeah.
I feel
Can I-
powerful.
Can I roll to see if there's anything coming up behind us?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
There's something behind us. I would like the perception too. Just at the mention of that.
This is when we see the mole people running after us.
Mole people. Who does that?
You?
No. Did you get on your perception? 16. You turn around as the orange and red and white of the metal is being melted away in whatever shape Eedee is cutting out of this door. And you see silently, deathly silent, this six-legged saber-toothed tiger creature just padding towards you. It looks vicious. It is maybe 9 feet tall at the shoulder.
I have the candy bowl that I picked up earlier, and I'm gonna bean it through the hole and say, "Book it."
Book it where? He's not through the door yet.
He's not.
I pull out my blaster and shoot it in between the eyes.
Okay.
Please, God.
Okay. So roll your blaster skill.
What happened to my candy bowl?
Fuck.
You could use it to throw it at this thing.
What is that? Strength or dexterity?
Strength, we'll say. Okay. So
Danger! There's something after us.
12 is enough to get it to chuck it and hit this thing in the face. Go ahead and roll your strength again for damage. And you can have Jargo roll his damage on his blaster because that does hit as well. I'm gonna use this pink wall, guys. I mean, they rolled high, but the others rolled low. So what did Haar got? A 5? So yeah, it shatters against its metallic skin. Jargo got a 17 though, and with a difference of 6. You see the shot hit him in the joint where the middle side of his right middle leg is of the 3, and the leg just kind of stops moving. It just goes dead and just you can hear it scraping against the metal of the floor as it's still moving forward. Its eyes have shifted from a soft white to a dark red.
Didn't know we were here.
It might not have known you were there. But you've cut through with the use of your force now.
All right. I'm on to the second door, third door.
Okay. The hole is not large enough for it to easily pull itself through, so you can hear it fighting to pull itself into this next corridor that you've run into.
But the four of us are in fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. How many doors left do we got?
You've got one
it
more,
at-
and then the main door.
Please keep it at bay while I work on the next door.
Cut it small.
I'm going 3 feet wide and
I
my
am
height
nimble.
tall.
I try to go for another leg
All right.
with the blaster.
And I would like to see, how close are we?
The hallway itself is maybe 100 meters. So you could be anywhere you want to be within that range.
I would like to be as close to the door as possible.
Okay.
So whole
Re-
time I want Charlie
Readying my
recording
slug
that thing.
thrower. I
Okay.
didn't want to have to use this thing.
Ooh.
Whole time you want Charlie doing what?
I want him recording that creature because I want it for my records.
Okay. How close is Jargo gonna get? Because you have a good range with the blaster pistol, I believe. I don't think I gave you the right ranges there.
Okay.
Let me see.
So between the doors, how much distance is there?
Between the two doors, like if you're standing on one side of the hallway and it's at the other, you have 100-meter distance.
Okay, so I'm gonna stand at 30 meters away from it.
From it? Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna pop, 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 pop until it overheats.
All right, let me see.
Right behind you.
And you're just cowering like,
If it gets close, I got
yeah.
something for that. But I can't do anything far. I can chuck rocks, but that's not going to do anything.
Yeah, so your point blank is actually up to 2 meters away. Your short range is up to 10 meters away, so that's lower. But your medium is 30. I was right about that. But your long is 120.
okay.
So
how big was the last opening, Eedee?
Big enough for what I presumed all of us could get through. This one's gonna be for sure big enough for us and Charlie to get through only.
okay.
Is it hot? It's going to be hot. We'll be fine.
So I'm still gonna stand 30 meters away from it and just bop, 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 always cutting the.
Okay, so
thing
you
open.
just fire wildly, going through some of your ammo.
Mhm.
We'll say you.
I'll do like 5.
Okay, so you've eaten up 6 of your ammo so far.
Okay.
And as you open fire, some of them are just too wild, and you're hitting the door. Some of it actually find purchase on the body, but just don't do enough to do anything to it. And as it scrapes in, and you see it pop its own middle leg off, the one that you shot off, it pulls itself finally into the corridor. And at that moment, you hear the loud thud of the piece of door that Eedee was cutting, and you see him shimmy through the little hole that he's made now.
Pull Charlie in.
Yeah,
I'm not going anywhere without Charlie. Yay!
Yeah, all 3 of you managed to get into the hallway. You see the welcoming center there. You can see that 12 and 11 have reactivated and have taken defensive positions to try to stop you from getting to the main door.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna turn them off.
Hey, roll.
38.
Yeah. Jesus.
I was worried we'd have to get rough and tumble.
I got 3 force points.
You don't keep getting force points for every heroic roll. You only get it the first time you roll a heroic
Oh,
roll.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, I have only the 2.
Yeah.
So we turn around, we see these guys in attack position,
Yeah,
and you just
and then
go.
they slump down and fall over.
You were amazing.
Nice.
The door.
Yeah.
I'm at the door.
Yeah.
We're at the big door.
You hear this sudden foosh, and from behind you, excuse me, you see that this tiger thing has shed some of its armor, some of its plating, and some of the thing that had made it big, and it's just this thin, almost 2 feet wide, slender cat that's more in line with what you think of when you think of like a tiger here in our world. And it just starts to pad towards you. And as it does, you see from its knuckles these long, maybe 6-inch long serrated blades come out, and you see that they start to shift the light around them. Eedee recognizes this as vibro weapons.
I'm going to get off the door then and get into a defensive position in front of the 3 of them.
What happened to the door?
Find another way. It's this.
Yeah.
We're taking this out first.
And what is above us? Like this, what is on the ceiling? Is there anything important on the ceiling?
Not that you can see. And if there's anything important, it might be behind the paneling. But it's a plain box that you're in of just metal.
How high is it?
12 feet up.
Angie, you want to trade? I pull out my slug thrower. Quick swap.
I don't understand what's going on. What happened?
You want to trade? Pistol.
Blast?
Yeah, just for a bit.
No, sure.
All right. I take his blaster, and I'm going to jump up as much as I can into the ceiling, grab on, and try to take shots at it.
Okay, let's have you make a jumping check.
Would that be with my gliding?
You would not.
Or climbing and jumping?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're in a suit.
Oh, you're right. How's that?
12. 12 is enough because it did explode. You monkey up the door using whatever hole Eedee has cut at least into whatever slit is there. You use that to kind of propel yourself up, and you do manage to kind of grab up one of the ceiling panels. So you're dangling from the ceiling.
No, I don't have to worry about hitting any of you. Let's make this clean.
Sure. And now
Rolls a 1, hits me.
Yeah, right?
Dies.
Can I take a shot?
You sure can. You have the blaster skill? You do not, so it's going to default to your dexterity.
Oh, I thought it was based on my firearms.
No, firearms is your slug thrower.
Oh, I thought they were the same.
No.
My bad.
That's fine.
This is going to be
Well,
good.
let's take a shot.
Yep. 12 with a 1 on the wild die. So let's... Between Jargo and Eedee, who wants odds and who wants evens?
You're kidding me.
I'll take
God.
evens.
Okay. It is a 2.
This thing is nothing like my slug thrower.
The second you hand off your blaster, you're like,
I'm gonna regret this immediately.
This is the worst decision I've probably ever made in my life. And you see him monkey up the wall. He climbs onto the roof. He's got one hand up there. He's kind of swinging back and forth. And you're like, I mean, yeah, that's one way to get out of the way. And the second he pulls the trigger, it's on one of his back swings. And so his arm isn't fully leveled, and it just comes down and hits you right in the back of the shoulder.
Me?
Oh,
Yeah.
My dad.
I'm in an environmental suit, so
Yeah,
what the fuck happens
exactly.
now? Fuck, I'm gonna die.
So the suit does manage to protect you from the damage of your own blaster, but you can feel the leak that's now there and even on your heads-up display, there is a little image of your body, and it just shows the shoulder area, and it's just like, suit damaged.
Is this something I can repair?
Not on the fly.
No. Okay.
Can I drop him back his blaster and say, "Not my thing"?
Yeah.
I want
Yeah. What is Eedee gonna do? This is playing out behind him.
This is right behind me.
Yeah, like you hear the blaster fire, you don't see it fly past you.
So do I hear Jargo go just react?
Yeah.
I go. That's the sound I make.
And how does the saber-tooth react?
It's still padding towards you.
It laughs.
Okay. I'm going to. All right, I'm going to tell you the order of events I want to do. You tell me how far I can get.
Okay.
While maintaining the defensive position.
Yep.
So as soon as it gets closer to me, I'm swinging.
Sure.
But it's comms on to the captain.
Okay.
To come in for a pickup emergency, and then once the comm is off successfully, I'm just going to open the door behind us.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to require 2 rolls of your ability. The first roll is going to be the -1 die. The second roll is going to be the -2 die.
Okay. And if I use a force point now, both of those are fine.
If you use a force point, it will double the dice pool before anything happens.
Okay. But it will affect both of those rolls.
Yes.
Okay, then that's exactly what
all 3 rolls because it will lunge at you, so you'll have to attack.
Perfect. That's exactly what I want to do.
Okay. So
all right.
So for your shard ability,
yes,
double the dice pool and then subtract 1.
Okay, so that's going to be 13.
For the first roll, subtract another 1 for the second roll.
From shard?
Yeah, the shard ability.
So now now I'm rolling 12?
Yep. 50, Jesus.
48.
Okay.
And then the next one's the last one's at lightsaber?
The last one is gonna be actually your lightsaber skill plus your sense would make it 10 dice, so it'd be 20 die minus 3 would be 17 dice.
How many dice?
17 dice.
Oh, wrong. Okay. 17 dice.
Yep.
No pips. 60 with a 1 on the wild die.
Yeah. You don't get a clear comms through. Like you know that you've reached the ship. You hear some kind of confirmation that you've reached the ship. Immediately you open the door successfully. That's a 48. There's no way that I can beat that. And the second this thing lunges towards you, instinctively your lightsaber just flies out in front of you in a wide arc. And the second you cut into it, it is a killing blow. And as your blade cuts into it and it meets the halfway point where the heart would be, you see it start to crackle and fizzle. And as you complete your arc, you do manage to cut some of it clean through, but your lightsaber blade is completely off. And as the body slumps down and you can see into its cavity where the heart would be, you can see that there is a core that is just protected by that same material that you came across in Beyond 6. Cortosis. But the doors open. The atmosphereless planet around you is starting to eat up more and more of Jargo's reserves. And
Jargo, we're getting you back.
you see the ship
I
just slowly coming down on its descent. Its ramp is open.
If I can, I'm pulling that saber tooth with me.
Okay.
And I would like to jump down, try to cover the hole that I made with my hand on Jargo's suit, and run with him.
punch him in the face and tell him to get off. It wasn't on purpose. You're wearing a mask, you dipshit.
The
It hurt you. It's still blinking my suit.
Yeah. The
Get
two of
to
you
the ship.
the two of you manage to get to the ship as Eedee is pulling this carcass forward. Some of the doors behind you, you can see that the facility comes to life completely. There's lights everywhere. There are amalgams of what look to be skeletons with droid parts. It is a complete desecration of human life. And there is this just wave of red lights that you know are just pairs of eyes. And for a moment, you see that as you're dragging the body, you know that this is probably something that should be left behind. And there's a moment where you just see Charlie look at you. A little iris opens up and he ejects his memory bank. And you see him fly towards the door and he interfaces with it and it just comes crashing down, sealing the facility.
Did we just lose the dog?
With him inside.
No.
I have the carcass.
You do. You have the carcass still there, and you have Charlie's memory bank.
That fucker.
What just happened to Charlie?
I get it on the ship.
Yep.
I put the memory bank in one of my. I'm gonna start crying. I put the memory bank in one of my pockets.
Uh-huh.
I walk directly to the captain. Captain. The Republic will cover any damage that the ship has received due to the amalgamation from the refinery. Please blow it out of the sky.
Okay. And you see that she starts to bring the ship around and starts strafing. As she does, Guntyre comes over to you and he's just like, I don't know how this got to us, but we received a distress signal that was directed at you, sir. Been bounced back from all the way from Coruscant to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the delay is on that.
Who?
It's Flid grilled from a ship called the Winchester. They're not that far away. They're in Tatooine. The ship could get there in maybe 3 days.
You can get there in 2. I will make sure any pay that you are receiving is compensated. Compensated.
All right, we can. I mean, it's up to the captain's piloting, honestly, to get us there in a short time period.
Captain.
You see that she is gleefully just shooting anything and everything on this planet and on the space bridge. She kind of just buzzes you away.
Will this cover the cost?
What are you holding out to her?
No, I'm like the ability to destroy something. Like, is that going to cover shaving a day off?
She shrugs. It's better than nothing.
Fine by me.
Where did you say you were heading? Tatooine?
I'm going to my closet and then not talking to anybody until we get to Tatooine.
No. Hello?
I grab him by the shoulder and I say, I'd suggest you leave it. and then walk away.
Mm.
And as the facility is destroyed in just this pelting of heavy laser fire, and whatever might have gotten onto the ship is still there, lingering. Some semblance of accomplishment should be washing over all of you as you did stop this thing, whatever this artificial intelligence that became hellbent on surviving at all costs has been stopped. The ship makes it back into mapped space and starts its run towards Tatooine to answer whatever distress call this Captain Flid Grilled has sent out, and whatever ship the Winchester might be. But just hearing that news must have done something to Eedee. But
Okay.
this is something that we will have to discuss on the next episode. I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in and joining us tonight. I hope to see you next week, as we will not be doing Star Wars. We will be starting a whole new campaign that is going to be alternating Fridays with Star Wars. But otherwise, I hope to see you on Monday for our Camarilla game of Vampire the Masquerade. If not, I will see you Tuesday as our second season of Legend of the Five Rings kicks off again. And if not, we'll see you next Friday for our D&D game that's going to start, called In the Eye of the Storm. As always, please continue to wear your mask, continue to wash your hands, continue to keep your distance if you feel like you need to. If you haven't gotten vaccinated, please get yourselves vaccinated, as the more time we take, the more trouble we're going to get into down the line. So please, if you are of age, if you can, and you have the wherewithal, please get yourself vaccinated. As always, if you are watching live on Twitch, there are phone numbers going up because we are big proponents of mental health on the channel. If you feel like you need help, there are resources to help you get it. It is okay to not be okay. I can speak from experience. And if you are a friend or family member of somebody that is a strong personality or happy-go-lucky, please check in on them, because you never know how much a simple hello could change the trajectory of somebody's life. So please, please help out. If you are not in the United States, there is a link going up to help you find the resources in your area. And as always, I appreciate all of you. I'm glad that you're here. And if I don't see you on Monday or Tuesday or Friday, I will see you when I see you. Have a good night.